Football is back, ladies and gentlemen, which now means it's time to get your team's football shirt. But I'm not trying to pay £120 for a football shirt. I'm just saying. But I have found the solution for myself and for you, the lovely audience of the Don Husam channel, with your own coupon promo code. And this is the solution, ladies and gentlemen. All you've got to do is just go to okjersey.com. As you guys can see, all the options are there. Of course, I'm a Liverpool fan, you guys already know. And then this is the shirt. Look how amazing it looks. I'm just gonna go pick my size, and then after that I'm gonna choose the Premier League patch. And listen, I'm too old to be putting any player names on the back, so I'm just gonna get it as it is. I'm gonna click add to cart, view cart, and this is the same thing that you guys do on any website. You proceed to checkout, you fill in all your information, and then after that, coupon code Husam. When you click this coupon code, you get a 8% discount. Enjoy shopping, guys. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another stream, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to talk Liverpool Football Club. We're here to talk about our club, you get me. We have a full stacked panel today, all stars on the panel, you get me. So big up to all of you guys. Please do slap that like button. Do subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Every single one of you guys right here, right now, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. And keep getting stuck in the chat. Keep letting us know your opinions. It is the international break. I know you guys are bored as hell, and we're doing our best to try to entertain you guys. So, yeah, I think this should be an amazing stream. I look forward to it. Just kind of sit here without any rival agendas, except the agendas that we have from within our fan base. But that one I can handle. It's just, you know, I don't know how many Verts, Isak, Salah conversations I probably had over this last week. You get me? But regardless, love to all of you guys, and thank you guys so much for always showing us love, always showing us support. And yeah, just a quick thing for the guys, because I know there were a lot of people as well who were there during Sweden, Switzerland. I'm unfortunately not going to be doing the watch along tomorrow, because I can't guarantee that your money will arrive at its correct destination, because I spoke to my mom after the Sweden Switzerland game, and she knows the humanitarian people who work over there, and they got arrested, chat. So I don't know if they will ever get back. You get me? They got arrested by you know who. So I don't know if they'll ever get back. Inshallah they get back, but I can't guarantee that your money will end up there, and I refuse to make money off people suffering. So yeah, big up to you guys regardless. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Maybe I'll just take a day off. Maybe I'll do a Q&A, maybe a call-in show. I haven't decided yet, but regardless, look, 230 people in the building. Every single link is in the description. All the people who come on the Friday shows, even the ones who aren't here today with us, their links are in the description. So you're going to find K-Mac's channel, you're going to find Rak's Twitter, you're going to find Jamie's channel, Mike's channel, Lex's channel, Quasi's channel, Fozzie's channel, and Jerry James's channel as well. So go check all of them out. You know, maybe one day Jerry James will come back to YouTube. I mean, we had the surprise this week of Mike Das uploading a video, guys. So that in itself, I think has been a shock to the system, to everyone. So yeah. Anyway, big up everyone on the panel. And I told the guys before we started that I'm gonna kind of low-key do like you know, more of a two separate sections, one talking about the manager, one talking about the players. But if they get interlinked, then they get interlinked. Fozzie, big up my brother. Thank you for joining. Since it's been a while since we've worked with each other, I'm interested to hear your opinion. Who is more to blame for the current form at Liverpool, and how do we fix it?
In my opinion, I think it's Arne Slot. I've said it for a while. In the beginning of the season, I was talking about, you know, the goals was conceding, like it's just too many goals. I think like 7 games, 9 goals conceded. That's a lot, you know, from a team that's just won obviously the Premier League last season. The issue that I have with that head coach at the moment is he should have integrated the players slowly. You know what I mean? That's what you do if you got new players coming into the team and you're pushing them all out there. And, you know, when I watch Liverpool, I don't know how often we analyze our opponents either, because when we watch the games against Crystal Palace, you know, Chelsea and Galatasaray and that, I don't know how often we've been watching them, you know, to play the way we did against these teams. So with Arne Slot, I just wished he, you know, did the right thing in the beginning, which was, you know, put a couple of players here and there. If they work out, take them out. Do you remember when Klopp was there? What he did with Fabinho and Robertson when they first came? He didn't start them straight away, did he? Like he integrated them slowly with the team. He tried them out with different pairings and all that stuff, and see how, you know, how how they would do. If they wasn't doing well, he took them out. Then he put them back in. That's what I wanted to see from Arne Slot. And unfortunately, it just hasn't worked out. It's from game one till now. Like, what is our identity? What are we? Like, are we a transitioning team? Are we a defensive team? Are we an attacking team? What are we as a football club? Because we don't know. I don't know. So this is why I said, like, if he stuck with the same team that won him the league last season and then slowly integrated those players, probably would be in a better position and probably will find an identity, that will take us, to the next level as the games go on during the season. That's how I see it, guys.
I just wanted to say I've got a couple of jerseys from OK Jersey now. They're en route, so big up Husam for the discount as well. So go and check them out because I've actually got a couple on the way.
Big up. Appreciate it. Big up.
I would say it's like a combination of three people's fault for me. I think Arne Slot's got to take quite a lot of blame for the recent form. Like, he has to. The substitutions are bizarre, like in games now, like when they were amazing last year. But I also think maybe Richard Hughes might have a little bit of blame here as well, because he sold a lot of players, like a lot of players. Like, I was looking at how many players he sold, and he's left him really only new players like left. So he's got to integrate them somehow. Like, there's no holding off on playing the new players in the first team straight away because of so many players that we sold. So there's an element of have we done too much too soon? Like, that's what it feels like to me in a way. We've just gone, see you later, here we go, and just expected it to work. Like, or maybe even Arnie expected it to work. So there's a bit of naivety from the manager thinking it was going to work. Like, and I'll hold my hand up as well. Like, I was naming loads of players that should have gone and loads of players that should come in, and we kind of got them all. And I'm sat there going, amazing, it'll all work now myself because I play Football Manager, so it works. But clearly it doesn't. Like, and clearly it's never worked with any other manager either. Because if you look at the past, teams that have done too much business, it doesn't go well for them. Like, it doesn't integrate well to start off with. Look at Tottenham. Tottenham made a bag full of money off Gareth Bale's sale and a couple of others, Modric, and bought a load of players. And none of it worked out for them. Like, and it was same with the Real Madrid one when they bought all the Galacticos. They didn't win shit for about 3 years. So it does happen. And maybe we're a little bit naive to just think it was just going to go, boom, there you go. But Arnie has to take quite a lot of blame because his tactics clearly aren't working. Like, if you just look, for example, the whole of 2025, yeah, he played 36 games, he's drawn 5 and he's lost 8. Like, that's not good form. And they're his tactics now. So that needs to change because it's not suddenly just going to start working. No. Because it's so poor everywhere. Like, and now we've lost our world-class goalkeeper. Now playing a goalkeeper that we have no idea whether he's going to be good or not. Like, no idea. And we don't even know whether he's going to play a right back. It's actually a right back now in games. So there's an element of finger in the air with Liverpool now. Like, Manchester United next game, Jesus Christ. Like, maybe that's just going to take a Mo Salah masterclass because he's rested for Egypt and he's on a high because he won, because he's going to the World Cup. I don't know, but I think there's an element of 3 things. Manager, a lot. Players, quite a bit. Some individuals, for example, Andy Robertson for one of them. And then you've got Richard Hughes for just selling too many players. I'll pass it on.
Yeah, I think obviously everyone has to get a bit of the blame. The coach, the players, the front office for the players we brought in. But if we're talking about Slot, I think one thing I noticed with Slot, and he talks about it after the games, he keeps saying, because the trend with us is we have really poor first halves and then we kind of click into gear second half after he sees how the other team sets up and makes his tweaks, etc. But I think at some point as a coach, and he always says after the games, oh, like teams when they come and play Liverpool, they play completely different than how they play when I studied them or how they play against other teams. At some point as the coach, you should expect that. Like these teams are not just going to come and play the exact same way. You should be setting up our team for us to impose our will on other teams versus every game. It's like you go in and when was the last time we had a really good first half? Maybe Everton, but it's in Slot's entire tenure, it's been very, very rare. And that's where I have to start looking at the manager, where it's like, what is your specific identity? Like when I watched highlights of Feyenoord, like the best bits of play by them, it's rare that I've seen us have any bits of play even similar to some of the plays that I saw Feyenoord doing, for example, as an example. And I feel like he needs to just be able to impose his identity on these players that he's purchased with the help of Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards. And I think a big issue, and I kind of mentioned this to you at the start of this season, Husam, is when we bought, like specifically Kirkez, I told you I wasn't sure about him. And one of the main reasons was I just don't think he fits like our model of signing specifically for that position. Like for us to be spending $40 million, 40 million pounds on a fullback, I feel like it should be a fullback of a certain profile where you're going to be a game changer from that position. That's quite a bit of money for a fullback. And I just never looked at Kirkez as that sort of guy that's going to come in and revolutionize our team or be a significant, huge upgrade on Robertson. I think he's better than Robertson now just based on being younger and having the legs. But I don't think like a prime Robertson versus a prime Kirkez, I don't think Kirkez is in that sort of class, me personally. And then when we go to the right and we look at a Frimpong, I think most people were in agreement that this is a player that more or less plays as a wing back, not necessarily a right back. And he's coming into a league that more and more is the focus is on physicality, size. If you look at the teams we're competing against, like in their back lines, for the most part, everyone's 6 feet plus, and we're bringing in two fullbacks who are 5'7", maybe 5'8". In Frimpong's case, maybe even shorter. I just feel like we set ourselves up for failure in a sense with those two signings. Not to say that they can't come good, and not to say that we can't set up well with those two players, but I just think based on where the league's going, I think we probably should have looked at different profiles. But again,
can I ask you a question though? Why are we pointing out Kirkez when Robertson fell asleep at the back post?
No, I'm just speaking to like, because you said who's getting the blame, right?
By the way, Robertson was injured. By the way, it's not that he fell asleep.
Yeah, he got
to get back.
He was playing for Scotland.
Regardless, it wasn't Kirkez over there.
No, I'm just speaking to like. So when I'm bringing up Kirkez and Frimpong, I'm speaking to like the front office and the actual profiles we brought in. Like losing Trent and losing that creativity at the back, I think we overestimated the technical quality of the two fullbacks that we brought in. The front office did. They must have, because knowing that Konate's there, like basically the only person that can pass in our back line now is Virgil. So the esteem that I hold Michael Edwards in, like I would expect him to have thought through, okay, how are we going to create now without one of our, like from the back, playing out from the back and building up without one of our main creators in the back. That's not Frimpong's game. Konate obviously can't step in and do that job. We kind of dilly-dallied with Gahey and couldn't get it over the line in the end, which again is looking more and more like a big mistake with each passing game. And then Kirkez, again, he's just as one-footed as Robbo, maybe even more so than Robbo. So I feel like we've put ourselves in a tough position where the coach is going to have to figure it out, and we may have to bite that bullet in January just to bring in maybe a Gahey or a specific profile where we can actually start to create from the back and bring the ball forward to all the attackers that we've actually purchased. But again, if I had to put blame on someone right now, it would definitely be on Slot, number one. But I think our players as well have to step up, specifically our senior players, the Salas, the Virgils, etc.
What percentage of Fozzie and Emeka you guys give to Slot? Because you guys both blame Slot and K-Mac as well. Just give me a number.
I'll say 60.
About 70.
I went higher personally. I said 80.
About 70. I'll give it about 70.
The reason I didn't do it, the reason I didn't put
Fozzie,
it,
you're on mute.
the reason I
Fozzie's
didn't
on
put it higher though, Husam, is
Sorry. Go on.
I think we've had opportunities in these games to actually get better results than we've even had. I know we haven't had the worst results, but for example, like I put a lot of the blame on that Chelsea game. Like I feel like goals change games, and if Salah just finishes his dinner in situations where we're used to him finishing his dinner, the game can look completely different. And that's where I say like our senior players, some responsibility has to go on to them to step up and help integrate these new players. And that's where I feel the most disappointed in Salah, where it's like, you're our talisman, you're our highest paid player now. We signed you on to basically help integrate this next generation of players. And when you're missing chances like the one he missed that Wirtz played him at the start of that second half, you're piling more pressure onto this player that already has the weight of the world on his shoulders. Like you as that senior player, like imagine what that would have done to Wirtz if Salah converts that chance now. That would probably end up, we probably won't see a better assist than that the whole season if Salah would have scored that goal. And then that could have started Wirtz's campaign, and things can go in a completely different direction. But then Salah's missing the look on his face when I'm just like, he doesn't look like he's there for me. He doesn't look like he's locked in mentally. And I understand a lot has happened in the summer, a lot of new players, Jota. So I don't want to get onto the players too much, but I am looking at the senior players first before I look at the new players. And Salah being number one because you're getting the most money, so naturally you should have the most responsibility.
By the way, Emeka, I think you have a background noise. I don't know if it's a fan or a Hoover or something, but there is like...
Okay,
there's...
give me one sec.
No worries. Jerry, Jamie, you guys want to chime in?
I mean, I did say this, didn't I? I was told I'm negative. Everything that people have said just now, I did say this.
You did.
I did tell people, listen, I'm happy with the signings, but there's a lot of change. I was told I'm negative. I did tell people, hey, look, and it's from last season, name me 3 characteristics of slot ball. I was told, no, it's about winning games. If you were to put bibs on every single player and the screen went black and white so you couldn't tell what player's who, would you know that's Liverpool playing? I wouldn't be able to tell you. You have no real style. There's no real philosophy. And yeah, you should be able to adapt within that. But considering he's been in the job now for, what, over a season and a bit, you'd think that there'd be a style of play that the team play. We saw it with Jurgen Klopp. First 5 games, you knew how Liverpool were going to play, regardless of whether you enjoy it or not. It's not about enjoyment. But Liverpool's football was based on just winning. But Slot speaks about, last season it was about possession. Liverpool are too gung-ho, so we need to be a bit more controlled. And this season, when he's been asked about possession, he's saying Liverpool aren't a possession-based team. We're a team that's there to score goals. So he doesn't even know what kind of style Liverpool go and play. I told people about the signings, people that want to listen. I told people even earlier on, first 4 games, and I was on there and I was saying to Sam, listen, I might have to go and see Salah in terms of performance. You might have to drop him and play the people that are in form, but people didn't want to listen. All the stuff that we've just said, I've said, so I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised. You're dealing with a bunch of new players that haven't got a style to play to. They're just being asked to play, right? To play. You've got players that, to Emeka's point, don't seem like they're involved, don't seem like they're there mentally. we're relying in certain games, do you know what I mean, on last-minute headers and winners from Virgil van Dijk, which usually comes back end of the season when we're in the Carabao Cup final. And you I mean, you look at it right now, and I don't know how Liverpool are going to create a chance. I don't know how Liverpool are going to keep possession. I don't know how Liverpool are going to defend. There's nothing right now that I look at and I'm like, you know what? That's something to hang your hat on. The only thing we look forward to is Szoboszlai's been on form, or Gravenberch in this game has been really good, or Virgil van Dijk's been outstanding, or Ekitike's been great. It's all everything that's been positive about Liverpool has been individual brilliance, from the goals to defensive performances, everything. So when now it doesn't work and players aren't performing, you look to just the setup and you're like, all right, how are Liverpool gonna move forward? What's the basis? What's the philosophy? What's the ideas of Liverpool? Well, how are we gonna battle through this? The best teams, no matter who's playing, right? You can still tell that's a coach, a manager's team. We've seen it with Liverpool when we had loads of players out. Liverpool still played the way Liverpool did. It might not be to that level, but you understand it. You have a Pep Guardiola team, take out all their players out. You know what I mean? All the best players, and they'll still play a certain way. It might not be to that level. They might even go and lose, but you'd look at that and be like, oh, you can tell that's a Pep team. With Slot, you can't. I don't know whether we're pressing. The players don't even know what they're doing. Szoboszlai's pressing, but Isak is jogging around. Szoboszlai jumps to go, or Gravenberch jumps to go and press someone, and McAllister's sitting off. Centre backs drop off, but midfielders don't. Fullbacks step high, and they're being asked to do something that they didn't do at their clubs. So I don't know. I think there's a multitude of issues, and ultimately, look, it comes down to, for me, obviously, it's the manager now. The one.
Give me a percentage just to gauge where everyone is.
I think I'm about 60%. I think I'm about 60%. Reason why I say that is, I think, again, the manager's the manager, and I still don't. A year into the game, I still don't know what slot ball is. We thought that we know we'd get signings and we have an understanding of what slot ball is. We've got no understanding, and yeah. But you look at the players, though. I'm sorry. Ultimately, I understand, people's concerns saying, it doesn't matter who's playing. There are certain players on the pitch, and that includes Salah, that includes Isak, that includes Wirtz, that includes Gakpo, that includes even Szoboszlai at times, although he's been quite good. Not really, where he's been quite good. Where, I'm sorry, we bought you to be able to go and conjure up moments. We signed you so you can go and provide moments. So, yeah, the system might be poor. We might be conceding a bunch of chances, but guess what? 116 million, you pick up the ball, and I said this about Salah last year, and people don't want to hear it, but with Wirtz, you pick up the ball, you beat two people, and you slap it into the top corner. That's the difference between someone that's 120 million and someone that's 60 million. It's fine margins. It's not that much, if we're being honest. There's not that big of a difference between players. It's the fine margins. That's what you're paying for. So Isak, Wirtz plays him the ball over the top, he snatches at it. That should be a goal. Salah plays the Trevella pass into him. That needs to be a goal. That's the difference between, it should be the difference between a 120 million pound striker and an 80, 70, 60 million pound striker. Is they get one chance and they finish. So yeah, the system's an issue. But I'm also looking at the players, hence why it's 40%. And I'm like, you guys have done nothing. Our best forward this season has been Ekitike, the one that's supposed to be benched by the other two. He's supposed to be the backup. And the only reason why is because he's got arrogance about him and he just goes, you know what, give me the ball. I'm going to create my chance. I'm going to do something.
100%. 100%. That's the reason why he succeeded.
And like I said, like even things like Chiesa, like what can he do to get a game? Apparently, Slot was this ruthless manager. Finally, we've got this. Clearly, he's not. Because to my point, Salah's been dreadful. He's been the worst forward in this front line, by the way. He's been the worst. Bar none, he's been the worst. Yet he still goes and plays every single game. bar the Galatasaray game, which then obviously we can speak about another time. But he's been the worst, but he plays every single game. Gakpo's been poor. He plays every single game. Trey Nyoni, by the way, not Trey Nyoni, sorry. Rio Nuoma was supposed to be the backup to Gakpo. Yeah, the competition. What competition is he providing right now? He would have been better off going out on loan. He doesn't seem like he's getting any minutes. So Slot trusts his squad? Not really. You kept Chiesa? Do you trust him? Not really. You wanted Rio, apparently. Do you trust him? Not really. So, yeah. I mean, like I said, I said this, so there's nothing for me. I mean, I was called negative. I was told you're overreacting. You're saying it too early. But I've seen this. This is nothing new. You see this at every level of football, and I called it out, but I was told I'm never negative. So hey, man, we're here.
Jamie, you want red carpet, Habibi? This is like your 100th show. Go ahead, talk.
No.
I'll go at the end because I'm all your opinions.
Yeah, but personally, I think it's 50-50 right now between the players and the manager. I think the players are getting away with murder, if you ask me. I always hear a lot of talk at Liverpool are not very creative. Liverpool are one of the most creative teams in the league by a country mile. Liverpool create a lot of opportunities in games, attacking. No problem with that whatsoever. It's not Slot's fault that, people don't put the ball in the back of the net when they got a goal-scoring chance from 5 yards out and stuff like that. So when we talk about tactics sometimes, you could argue that his tactics sometimes in the game works because players are in the position they're meant to be in to get these opportunities and chances. If his tactics weren't completely 100% working, these players won't always be in position to get these chances to score goals. That's just a fact. He spoke about it so many times. These players give away the ball in stupid areas of the pitch constantly. Mm-hmm. It's very obvious to me that Slot wanted Konate out of this team for Mark Gay. It's very obvious now when you watch this season, he wants a defender at the back who can cut past the football. That's why Gravenberch goes and plays centre back when he's needed to. That's why when he mentioned after the game against Chelsea, when he said about we actually started to get control of the game once Gravenberch went to centre back because he could pass out from the back between the lines. Konate can't. There's Slot system's not fantastic right now. I'm not giving him an out at all. He's got to sort shit out and and get it working and get it going. But some of these players just getting away with it, man. They really are. I think the only game this season when Slot was 100%, not 100% at fault, because no one's ever 100% at fault, but I think for my majority was probably the Chelsea game. You look at the Bournemouth game now, beating Bournemouth 4-2 is actually a great result because we're the only team that's beat them this season. They actually look like a very decent side. I just think
you wouldn't blame Slot for Palace.
You have to say Palace too. Yeah.
No, I blame the players, man. I blame players against Palace. Did you see how they gave away the ball consistently in midfield with stupid passes? Did you see the chances we created but don't put in the back of the net? They're like
we could have been 7-0 down in the first half.
Yeah, because we don't pass the ball properly. We don't pass the ball properly. It's all about possession, right? Liverpool, it's very obvious what Arne Slot's style is. Yeah, it's very like I think we talk about styles of football too much now in 2025. I think it's a very popular thing to chat about. Obviously, I'm a bit, Fozzie will probably agree with this because we're similar ages, but Liverpool back in the day, especially under Kenny Dalglish and stuff like that as managers, they weren't like a style or system. It was 4-4-2. It was possession and goal scoring. That's what Liverpool were known for. All right, possession and goal scoring. I think we go over the top about systems now. I really do. Like, I look at, it's Ancelotti, especially at Real Madrid. I couldn't tell you what Real Madrid's system was under Ancelotti at Real Madrid. I really couldn't. But they won everything because they had quality individual players, yeah? And I'm not saying that's what Slot is. I'm not saying he's Ancelotti levels or anything like that. But I do see a lot of the time when we create opportunities and we should score them and put them in the back of the net and finish the game, yeah? And then I see us just like give away stupid balls in ridiculous areas of the pitch. We are an attacking team. There's no doubt about that. The way we set up is to attack, to play in the opposition's half and keep them in that half, yeah? But the problem is we've got too many players in the team that are not comfortable at keeping possession. And that's an issue. And that's an issue, and that's what Slot's got to work out. Who's his best players to keep possession? Who's his best players that can hold up the ball higher up the pitch? The Kirkez stuff, look, I don't think Kirkez has been wonderful since he joined Liverpool. I do think now he's the new bad guy that everyone gets hold of. I actually seen him overlap Cody Gakpo loads, but Cody Gakpo just ignores him. He just ignores him and cuts inside. So if I'm Kirkez now, I'm like, what's the fucking point? What is the point breaking my neck? Because Cody's never going to give me the ball. Cody just cuts inside. Kirkez is out there in the wider areas, wanting to receive it. Maybe play a 1-2 with Cody, get the right back or centre back out of position, move them along a little bit. But Cody just cuts inside. Liverpool sometimes, one thing I will say is that we're a little bit predictable sometimes because we've got two wide players who both like to do the same thing. So you need your fullbacks overlapping. When Frimpong plays, he overlaps, yeah? Salah uses him more than Cody uses Ekadika. And that's why we get some success out there. And that's why Frimpong hasn't looked too bad when he starts games. The system, like the tactics system, whatever it is, there is an issue, obviously, because, we're not perfect, And I actually think for the amount of players that we've bought this summer to put them into this side right now and the pretty difficult start of the season we've had, I don't think it's actually that bad results at the moment. I think we've got to take that in consideration. What was everyone taking the piss out of Liverpool for last season? Our easy start to the Premier League. We didn't play anyone yet. We've had a harder start this time around, and we're only 3 points worse off than we were last season with a much easier start to the Premier League season. And he's adapting new players into this team. So, yes, there's a reason to have a go at Slot and question him about his system and tactics. And I'm not going to dismiss that. But I think the players have to stand up and take acknowledgement as well. Like, how many games have we seen when we're winning a game of football? We got teams where we want them, yeah? And then Mo Salah's done it this season, just gives away the ball. And then you're counted on very quickly because we're high up the pitch. So Boslai just gives away the ball with a bad pass. You get counted on. Kanate just does what Kanate does and just gives away the ball constantly. And the reason we're high up the pitch and we get exposed and on is because our fullbacks are higher up the pitch than people actually think. If our fullbacks weren't actually that high up the pitch, we wouldn't be as exposed as we are. We're an attacking team that wants to score a lot of goals. But at the moment, we're giving away the ball far too much in attacking areas and getting caught in transition too easily. And again, that's something Slot has to do. If Slot has to push the team back maybe 5 yards and just tell one of the midfielders, one thing I have complained about is he's used Gravenberch this season. I've complained about that. Slot's got to stop that. Just tell Ryan Gravenberch to sit again on the halfway line. If he just does that, and he tells Gravenberch, don't join the attacking play, just stay back for me. Tell one of the fullbacks, whoever you feels like the more defensive-minded fullback, tell them to stay back a little bit. Virgil and Kanate stand. And then in transition, if you are caught out, because we play risky, there's no doubt about it. We're not a safe football team by any stretch of the imagination. We play with a lot of risk. And when you play with a lot of risk, you're going to get caught out a lot of the time. But we can't getting caught out with just two centre-backs, our full-backs bombing on. Gravenberch is meant to be our DM in the playing like just behind the striker and stuff like that. So for Slot for that, he's got to get players, go back to basics a little bit, drop everyone back 5 yards, wait, defend the transition a little bit better. Because I don't think, apart from the Crystal Palace game, I think that's the only time we've probably been outplayed all season without transition. Liverpool, if you look at just Liverpool, even under Klopp, our weakest part under Jurgen was transitional football. Our weakest point under Slot is still transitional football. Apart from the Palace game, I think that's the only time we actually got proper outplayed without transitional football. So is it perfect at the moment? No. Are we 4 points at the top of the league where I wanted us to be? No. Is it the end of the world at the moment? No. And have we got good players? Yes. Have we got a good coach? Yes. Are they all working and gelling together 100% right now? No. And this is what they're all paid to figure it out and work it out. But I don't think we are, at the end of the world right now. 1 point behind this fantastic Arsenal side. By the way, Arteta's in his 7th to 8th year with this Arsenal team. It's easier for him to gel new players every summer because he's had these players there in this team for years, and he's worked on it and worked on it and worked on it. Finishing 8th twice in a row, being able to work on it and work on it and work on it. This is the beginning of Slot's 2nd season. So, yeah, I'm not too concerned, but, that can all change if we don't beat Man United and we don't win our next Premier League game. But if we beat Man United and we win our next Premier League game after that, I think everything looks a little bit different, don't it? A little bit more rosy. This is the thing with football. Arsenal could just have a freak result in their game when they come back and draw or lose, and Liverpool win, and guess what? We're top again. Everyone's got smiles on their faces. This is a crazy sport we love, but yeah, that's just my feelings in a way.
I felt like I just want to say something on that. I felt like the Crystal Palace game. You're having your ass handed to you, like for the first half. Like you had your ass handed to you on numerous occasions. Like Alisson was sensational. They hit the crossbar about 3 times, I think, or something daft like that. And we got the equaliser late on. Take the fucking point and go home. Like, when are you going to take the point and go home? Like, because when you're getting your ass handed to you in games, you've just got to go, you know what? We're still going to be top of the table. It's a point at Palace. Like, are we going to take a point at Palace when everybody else has been getting beaten there? Like, just do it. Like, you didn't deserve to get the equaliser. Just take it and go. Same with Chelsea. Got the points at Chelsea. Like, you didn't deserve fuck all at Chelsea either, to be fair. But you got the points. Just walk out. But you didn't.
But you tried to do that, innit?
To be honest, K-Mac, he did try to do that. Do you know what?
Right. Whenever I'm criticising, putting
there's
on.
one player who's getting away with murder at the moment.
Joe Gomez.
No one brings up no one brings up this player because all Liverpool fans don't want to bring him up because they all love him. But Alexis McAllister's an issue, right? It just is, right? If you go back to Caicedo's goal, you do know that's all on McAllister,
Yeah,
it's all on McAllister.
That's a systemic issue.
But if McAllister just holds his position,
because if he holds his position,
he doesn't score. It's simple.
But if he holds his position, it becomes a 2v1. When
McAllister goes on jump,
when McAllister jumps, I think he jumps to Malo Gusto, who's come inside, right?
Yeah, he's got to leave Gusto. He's got to leave Gusto.
And Caicedo's there.
But what you do is you leave Gusto and you go with the player that's more threatening right now.
Gusto's come in fields. You can't leave Gusto because as soon
as
the ball goes to Gusto, go back to it. No, go back to it.
Yeah, I've watched it many times. You leave it. I actually listened to professionals.
I'm saying I can bring it up.
Actually worked it down and said McAllister was at fault. This is a problem. As YouTubers, we all go over the top with
No.
This is why I hate YouTube and thinking about quitting because I've had enough of it. Because we're all full of shit. We are, all of us, yeah? None of us know, right? I listen to professionals. Professionals tell me McAllister was the one at fault for that goal. I go, I just get annoyed with it. I just get fucking annoyed with it.
I hear you. I'm not saying you can blame him. You can blame him. You can blame Gravenberch. There's loads of things you can blame, right? But if you are blaming, I can blame 3-4 players as to why that goal happened. It can start from the fact that Szoboszlai goes and jumps to go and press. If he sits off, that ball doesn't get played, then the centre-back just passes it left and right. You can then go and blame Gravenberch for jumping up onto the player that leaves McAllister 2v1 inside the midfield, right? You can then blame McAllister for trying to jump and win the ball, right? And then you can blame Virgil van Dijk and Konate. When there's layers to why, right? That is a systemic issue. That can't be one individual's issue. By the way, I agree. I think McAllister's been shit, and he's another one, and he's dropped. And I've said this. When people ask me about McAllister, that's what I'm saying. All this stuff I've said this about players. When people say McAllister's this, McAllister's that, I never saw it. I never saw it.
He can't press. He can't press. He's not press resilient.
And I've said
he's slow. He's clumsy.
But to your point, when we're talking about
are you guys noticing something? You know, I think there's something very interesting in this conversation. I've been silent for 40 minutes. I've allowed you all to speak, and I'm picking up on stuff. So we've mentioned Salah, we've mentioned Isak, we mentioned Gakpo, we mentioned Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gravenberch, Konate, Kerkez, Frimpong. Isn't it a rule of thumb if like more than like 80% of the team is playing like shit? I've got to look at the system and the style that we're playing. Yeah. Just like by definition for any, this applies for any club. Jamie mentioned Ancelotti. Ancelotti is actually like known for not winning that many league titles because of the stuff that you mentioned. It's very successful in the Champions League where you rely on individual brilliance, but in a league title scenario, I think he's been managing for like 25 years. I think he's won like 6-7 league titles only, despite the fact actually being the favorite for a lot of those league titles.
And known as one of the greats as well.
He is one of the greats, but that's for the Champions League stuff. We're talking about the league scenario. Let's not forget he lost the league title to Xavi as well. Xavi's Barcelona that like had all the kids just coming through and stuff. So like my thing is everyone can sit here, and this is something that everyone does, blame the people who they want to blame. Emeka points out Salah. Why? Because he has a Salah agenda. He dislikes him from last season. He didn't want him to extend. So he points him out. Maybe someone like dislikes Kerkez, so he points him out. Someone dislikes McAllister, whatever. I'm not blaming any of you for disliking anyone, but the fact that so many players look like shit, it has to be systematic. That first goal that we conceded against Chelsea. Here's the thing: the reason why there's that much space anyway in midfield is because of our idiotic press. Gravenberch presses Enzo because we're doing man-to-man press in the middle of the park, and we leave McAllister 1v2. If Gravenberch actually doesn't have the license to roam forward, which he spoke about post-Everton, he said, like, the man gives me license to roam forward, blah, blah, blah. If he actually doesn't have that, and we play just like how we did last season, where Gravenberch is supposed to be, that never happens. There is no world in which any midfielder should be allowed to run basically 15 yards just unmarked with no one there. Because immediately, I'm not even, by the way, drop McAllister. I don't care. Like, drop any player you want. Drop Salah, drop Isak, blah, blah, blah. I promise you nothing will fix. Galatasaray, prime example. Oh, Salah is shit. When will you say about him being dropped? Okay, got dropped. Did we look any better? No. Isak's been dropped. Do we look better? No. Wirtz has been dropped. Do we look better? No. That shows me that it's systematic. And I think Slot is shoehorning players into this team. I think he wants to make everyone happy, so he's playing Szoboszlai at right back, so Szoboszlai doesn't like feel like he's, he's losing out. Same with McAllister, shoehorning him into this team. He don't deserve to start. I think he's putting all the wrong combinations with each other on the pitch. We signed Frimpong, right? I don't think Frimpong has had a bad game for us. I'll be honest.
I think it's been good.
The only actually bad game he played was when he played right wing. When he's been at right back, he's actually defended well and attacked well. Both. Like, he's done both elements of the game really well. I don't get why we just don't go with Frimpong at right back. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get why I've got to shoehorn a third midfielder. It's okay, Slot. Drop McAllister. Play Gravenberch and Szoboszlai with each other. Like, okay, yes, McAllister is going to be upset. But when you made all those transfer decisions in the summer, you should have expected that you are going to be making players upset, because that's the whole point of having the squad. Yes, some players will be upset. Yes, some players will be angry. But it is what it is. What can we do? Like, so for me, drop McAllister, play Szoboszlai and Gravenberch with each other. I need Wirtz. If we are to win this league this season, I need Wirtz's 20 GA. And the only way he's going to get that 20 GA if he's consistently starting in the team, if he's consistently being allowed to make an impact. We're playing Wirtz with Ekitike, but then dropping Wirtz for the Isak game. When actually Isak and Wirtz probably had the best, in my opinion, best game we played all season with Atletico. We had 7 big chances created. Atletico had 1 big chance created all game. They scored an all-timer goal, but we were totally dominant in that game. We should have won by 7 or 8 goals. Absolute domination. We beat them in every statistical category. We beat Atletico in literally every single statistical category. We never ran back that team once. Wirtz and Isak actually combined unbelievably well that game. Even Gakpo looked good in that game. I disagree with one thing, like with Jerry saying about like Salah's been our worst forward. I actually think Gakpo's been our worst forward. Not that Salah's been any better, but I just think Gakpo, for me, even like the things, like with Salah, at least he gave me the assist against Everton and he gave me the Atletico performance. I don't see a single performance good from Gakpo all year long, in my opinion. Since the season started, I can't recall a single one. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I just hasn't seen him play well once. I'm at the point now where I'm saying to Arne Slot and to any Liverpool fan I work with, drop anyone you want.
Yeah.
We're at this stage. I said the only two players who should be guaranteed starters are Gravenberch and Van Dijk. Drop anyone you want. I don't care. As long as the system and the style is not fixed, we are not going to win games of football. We have to be able to fix the style. We have to be able to fix the system. We have to be doing stuff the Liverpool way. And this brings me to an argument I had on Kopish today about this whole PSG thing. If we want to even take elements from what PSG did, we need to go back in a time traveling machine all the way back to June. Don't sign Wirtz. Go sign Adam Morton instead. Don't sign Isak. Go sign Michael Olise instead. We speak about this PSG thing when we don't have, like, you know, from Gravenberch onwards, no one can replicate PSG. Literally no one. Not a winger, not a striker, not any midfielder. No one can replicate what they do. The only one that could go into PSG is an in-form McAllister. Like when he's actually in form, he can pass through the lines and blah, blah, blah. But right now, he ain't even...
Who says we're copying PSG? Again, this copying PSG thing comes from YouTubers. It does.
No,
it's just
I agree with you. I don't want
it's just people saying, "Oh, it looks like Slot's copying PSG." It's not. He's just doing his own fucking thing.
No, you know what is, Jamie? He says something about PSG.
Yeah, he says because he says, "Oh, I like what PSG do." Doesn't mean he's copying them. Do you know what I mean? It's just.
And to summarize, that's why everything I said is why I'm probably the one here. Not probably. I actually asked you guys all for the numbers. That's why I actually blame.
Doesn't mean he's copying.
I blame Slot the most. I think he actually has everything in his arsenal to make this work. I fully believe if you look at this team, you have everything you need to make all these ingredients work.
But to that point, by the way, I'm not saying that there's no excuse for Slot. Like there's no excuse that if Liverpool end up fourth, serious questions need to be asked. Like I'm sorry, it is what it is. You can't decide we want to be like Real Madrid. We're the big boys. We've arrived. We can spend like these big clubs. And then when it don't work out, you go, oh no, but he's got credit in the transition season. Real Madrid wouldn't act like that.
This is our transitional season, though, but no one wants to hear that.
No. But we unfortunately we talk about transitional season. If Real Madrid spent that,
who transitions with Isak and Wirtz though?
It is our transitional season.
No, but listen,
I'll get to it in a minute.
I disagree completely.
No, we can do it like that, and that's fine. But I'm saying if Real Madrid went and spent the amount of money they did, and their target was after winning the league, right? They've decided to go and do that, or Bayern Munich or Barcelona, and it didn't work, and the club ended up fourth. Guess what's happening with the manager? There's serious conversations to be had.
If he wins the Champions League,
I'm a bit confused.
Right.
So, like, is a transition season?
Yeah, winning the Champions League is different.
Like quality, adding quality with quality. How's that transition?
It's a transitional season because this is his team now. Look, last season, and K-Mac said this many times, and he's right. Slot came in and just carried on doing what Jurgen Klopp was doing. He even admitted that himself. I didn't change anything. I just carried on doing what I was doing. That's why he never rotated last season, because he got to a point where Liverpool were just winning and winning and winning. He's like, I'm not going to change anything. I'm new here. I've not really put my philosophy on the team yet. I'm just carrying on what Jurgen's doing. And this year is his transitional year, because he's coming out of the Jurgen Klopp era now, and he's what everyone's saying. This is now his system. It's his tactics. It's his.
But what system is it though?
Yeah,
I don't know, because I don't care. But this is a transitional system. I don't care about systems and tactics and all this bullshit. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters in football, the only thing that matters in football is results and the score at the end of the game. It's literally the only matter. After a game of football, Jerry, do you care what happened as long as Liverpool won?
I do.
I don't give a shit.
No, I do care. I do care, because when I was calling out the fact that the performance was rubbish on the back end of the season, it was a precursor to what was happening now. So yes, at face value, results are what matter, 100%, right? But the whole point of being dominant. One second. But the whole point of being dominant and the whole point of like dominating football, or what Liverpool, the idea that most Liverpool fans have is the fact that we want to go and dominate football. We want to win again. We want to win again and again and again and again.
Dominating football is just winning. It's not performances.
Yeah, exactly, winning. But you want to win consistently, right? You don't want to win once and then drop off and then win again.
The reason why I disagree with transition is just based on principle. You don't transition with Isak, Verts, and the signings that we made.
You do.
No, you don't. Transition is if we signed Ekitike and Matata. That's transition. Because we're slowly trying to get somewhere.
He's transitioning from a Klopp team to a Slot team. So it's transitional. Yeah. The whole of last year, all I have heard is that was Jurgen Klopp's team, Jurgen Klopp's team, Jurgen Klopp's team, Jurgen Klopp's tactics, Jurgen Klopp's tactics, Jurgen Klopp's tactics. He is now transitioned.
I never said that though, so you can't label that
into his now system. Yeah,
I think we did do Slot tactics last season.
But the thing is, if that's the case,
because guess what? You wanna know what Slot changed? I don't think we. By the way, I think this is a narrative that's driven right now. I don't think we played club ball last year at all because Slot didn't ask Salah to track back. Slot had Soboslai doing all the running. Slot played Diaz.
Asked if we didn't have to track back.
Slot played Diaz false 9. Slot played Diaz false 9. Slot played Diaz false 9. He changed around a lot of things.
Yeah,
Slot did rotate during the season.
I know.
He came out after Leverkusen. He said, when we look at the centre backs that Leverkusen had, we had to play Diaz false 9, and it worked. And we gave him credit. We worked with each other, all of us.
We
gave him credit. Yeah, so he changed around a lot of things.
So
I'm sorry, we can't spend all this money and buy all these players and expect it to be transition. We don't transition with Isak, Verts, That's
you know you can win things in a transitional year, yeah. I'm not saying don't win things.
If it is transitional, to your point, if it is transitional, right?
It's a transitional year.
Then it's even worse. It's even worse because you've had a year to implement your system. You've had
I agree with that. I'm not disagreeing with that.
So when we criticize certain managers when they come in and they're like, "Oh, I've got my system of play and I want to do this and I want to do that," and that's how it is.
Managers are given time. I've always said that.
In the first year, right? We can't go and now win the league, and you telling me now that this season, after he's won the league, has gone all right. Now we're going to go and try and play slot ball. That's too late.
Yeah, but it's transitional. So if he wins something in the transitional year, then that's quality, isn't it?
That's awesome. If they want to finish fourth, that's fine.
He had a full year and he had a full preseason this past summer. To say it's a transition based on the number of players that left and the number that came in.
But
the majority of the players we brought in, most of us would say we've replaced previous players with quality players.
We haven't replaced, we've upgraded.
We've upgraded, exactly. Yeah. Like we wanted to replace Nunes, we wanted to replace Diaz, we wanted to replace Robbo. So yes, it's a transition because we have 6 or 7 new players.
So that makes it transitional then. Thank you. Jesus Christ. The definition of transitional.
My problem.
Transition is not just changing around players. Transition is when you're doing something completely different. Transition, in my opinion,
we just changed.
Klopp's first season was transition. That's transition. When he came in,
my problem is
when Klopp came in mid-season, I think that was transition because we were introduced to a whole new style and system. Yeah. We did something completely different. I think Slot right now is moving like Ranieri 30 years ago at Chelsea. Tinkerman, just changing around everything. It's just not working.
My issue is, my issue is, and this is with Slot, yeah. Last season, played against Chelsea, away, we got beat. Okay, we played them at home and we won, and we got Curtis Jones into the game, and he was unbelievable in that game. Okay, he was. Curtis Jones was man of the match in that game at Anfield. To combat Curtis Jones, Chelsea played Malo Gusto in exactly the same position as they played him at their ground. What did Arne Slot do? Nothing. He didn't combat it. He didn't change it. He went straight into the game exactly like he did at Chelsea the last season when we got beat, when they put Malo Gusto in midfield to combat having our midfielder, as in Curtis Jones, but this time it was McAllister, and we got beat. This is the thing that's really starting to grind my gears. We were shit against Crystal Palace in the Community Shield because Crystal Palace did exactly what they did at their ground. And Arne Slot just went into the game like he was going to win. They literally played the same way.
And that's why tactics matter, because the Crystal Palace game, we played a box midfield against a team with wing backs. So how's that not tactical issue?
You learned nothing. You went to Crystal Palace and just expected to run it back.
Bring back a left wing back. That's why we got abused.
Shit.
Yeah. Slot was wrong. That's what I'm saying. Slot was terrible in that. Like, I'm not.
None of us here. You know,
but managers have shit performances. I've watched Pep Guardiola, who people call the greatest coach of all time, lose the Champions League final.
None of us here. No,
Fuck
I want
up,
to clarify
fuck
something.
up.
None of us here are slot out. None of us
I think
here
some
are
are.
saying.
Think some
No,
are.
no. Forget any of this. All 6 of us have spoken very objectively. We've given our reasons. Some have blamed players. Some have picked out certain players. But at the end of the day, I don't think anyone said anything crazy. We are holding Slot accountable to the decisions that he made. I'll give you a prime example. Jerry spoke about Salah. Emeka spoke about Salah. Okay, Salah was dropped against Galatasaray. He played Frimpong.
I don't think Salah's been that bad either.
Okay, no problem. We played Frimpong right wing. The logical thing with playing Frimpong right wing, who runs down the byline and crosses, is to play Isak with him. He played Ekitike, who's a striker that drops deep. So when I say like he's combining players in all the wrong ways, that's what I mean. I think he's not finding the correct combination of players. I think he found it against Atletico, but then never ran it back. Because I feel like he's just trying to please everyone, make everyone happy. Someone needs to be dropped. Slot knew this in June when we made all those signings. You have to be able to find the guts to drop someone. And I'm at the stage now, you guys know, I might not be Soboslai's biggest fan, but guess what? If it means drop McAllister, start Soboslai to make us look better, I don't care. Drop any player you want except Van Dijk and Gravenberch. Literally make any combination of 8 players. Well, obviously, we have no choice in terms of the keeper, so I'm talking outfield players here. So I'm saying drop any other 8 players, drop any person. Play Gomez center back, play whichever you want, wherever you want. We need to be able to fix the style and the system because that's the reason why. And you spoke about football in the 80s. Yeah, but you're correct. But football was different back then because it was way more individual. That's why, you know, you have heroic moments by Maradona and by Kenny Dalglish and by Kevin Keegan. These heroic moments don't exist in football anymore. Which players in world football right now say, fuck the system, I'm going to score goals? The best striker in the world right now is the most systematic striker in the universe, Erling Haaland. You don't create Haaland the chance, he's doing fuck all the whole game. But guess what? Pep plays to his strengths, so he creates chances for Haaland, and they win games of football. That's it.
This season. By the way, this is the thing. This is what's mad about football, yeah? City started this season terribly. They've already lost 2 games, the same as Liverpool, yeah? All right? City turned it around a little bit. You know, they should have beaten Monaco, but they got a weak underbelly a little bit like Liverpool. They get dragged back to 2-2. You know, they missed a lot of opportunities as well. You know, Pep Guardiola was terrible last year because he missed 1 DM and he just didn't know how to tactically put a team together without Rodri, right? And this is one of the greatest coaches people tell me that's ever existed in football. He tactically didn't know what to do to replace Rodri out of his team last year. And that's why they fell so behind in the league.
Yeah, but he got criticized for it.
Managers all have issues and problems. All managers are egotistical. You can't be a manager without being egotistical. People can all agree with that. They believe in their theories. They believe in what they want to do. They believe in their theories are right, and they will go and do that. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Slot's not having a great time right now, right? He's not. He really ain't. You know.
So we're pointing that out.
He's got to do better.
Wrong with it.
He's got to do better. I just think everyone's going. I just think people are just going way over the top. Personally, that's just me, though.
What you're saying is facts, but that's why managers are held responsible for the results, right? Like you can
exactly. That's why players get away with it. Yeah.
I don't think players are getting away with it at all.
No, I think players are getting.
I think solid.
We've all criticized every single individual.
Look.
All of you spoke and you criticized every player.
No, not us. I'm not talking about us here.
We criticized the players, and rightfully so. They all deserve criticism.
Like Arne Slot started at Liverpool, yeah, and we all know that he used Jurgen Klopp's tactics. We all know that because he said it himself. He played 37 games in 2024. Yeah, 3 draws, 3 losses, and those 3 losses, the only one that really mattered to any of us and to him probably was the Nottingham Forest one, because we lost against Plymouth because we played a weaker team, even though we probably should have won with the team we had on the pitch, to be fair, and we lost against PSV. Like we just played a load of kids in that game, didn't we? That's it. Slot has then implemented his tactics, which are clearly implemented after Christmas. Like we know that. We can see a difference the way Robbo plays. We can see a difference the way Diaz plays. Like we can see his styles being implemented more into the team after that, and it's nosedived. Like it's nosedived. Like we lost 8 games like in 2025, and for me, if he doesn't do something about it, because it has to be him, because we look like we've got no midfield anymore. Like when you look at us on a pitch now, the opposition look like they have more players on the pitch, and I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know how that's possible. We are so spread out that the opposition are just swarming our players everywhere, and nobody's got any time on the ball. And I don't understand how that even happens, because that's just not the way Liverpool is. But we are like that right now, and he has to turn it round. He has to turn it round. The media are having a field day over this. Like, it's only going to get worse if he carries on continuing to play the players out of position, and the players who aren't in form keep on playing them. It's going to get worse, and then you're going to have a situation where Alexander Isak isn't even going to get into any fitness or form to kick on, and he might have a really bad season. Can you imagine if we only get like 5 goals out of Isak in the Premier League this season? Like that's never going to get stopped talking about. Yeah, but he's going to end up being whatever he's going to end up being. And then you've got Wirtz, who's now what, 007, 008, 009.
No, I don't care. I don't care about all that shit.
Ridiculous. But the only person that can change this is Arnie, by making the team a bit fucking stronger. Like we are weak. Like pump a ball 50 yards in our direction, and we look all over the place. Right?
Even against 10 men, remember Newcastle game?
It's madness.
It doesn't matter how many players on the pitch. But you're right, okay, Mac. You know what this? The thing is, guys, it's stubbornness, isn't it? Stubbornness doesn't get. Stubbornness makes you make mistakes, and it gets you the sack eventually. And that's what I don't want this manager to go through. I'm not saying get him out or anything like that, but if you keep repeating the same mistakes every single game, it catches up with you. And that's what happened to us during the season with this manager. I mean, we lost 3 games in a row, and people saying like us reacting the way we are is overreaction. I don't think it is. We're champions here. Of course, we're going to react like this. We won the league last season, so we're going to be upset and all that stuff. This is why we're saying what we're saying. And, the only way he could solve it is just get back to basics, in my opinion. Just go to the players that you can trust, like you did last season, and just start from there and just get the wins, and then eventually integrate everybody else together. That's all you got to do. Why is he just trying to, with Jurgen, yeah? The latter years of Jurgen, the issue that we had with him is because he kept on playing the same players again, like Darwin Núñez, again and again and again, trying to prove us wrong. And this is what I see of Arne Slot doing similar this season. And that's what I wanted to get away from. Don't be too stubborn to change things. And don't give me like you take off Kwanzaa in an Ipswich game, but you keep Salah on when he's playing like badly in 7 games straight. I mean, you gotta have authority here, bro. I mean, get things going again. It ain't listen. If you go back and do the right things, it's not a bad thing because it's going to be corrected as time goes on. And that's what he needs to do as a manager. Just go back to basics, put the players that you trust on the pitch, and just work hard and win the games. Simple as that. Because like I said, stubbornness is the thing that makes you mistakes, and the stubbornness is the thing that gets you sacked eventually. And that's what worries me if he continues with the same players that's not performing game after game after game. That's how I see it, guys.
And that's my thing. That's why I'm at the level. Like, obviously, like Emeka loves to criticize Salah, bro. Even if you drop him, without fixing the system, nothing will change. That's the thing that I want. Like, that's my point. And by the way, there is something today. Right now, it's international break, right? Mm-hmm. Why does every single player actually look very good for their country? You guys know Conor Bradley was man of the match today for Northern Ireland. Isak actually put Bergvall like literally one-on-one with the goalkeeper with an unbelievable pass. Ekitike is getting GA for France. Salah just got his country to the World Cup top goal scorer in the whole qualifiers.
Who are they all
Gakpo is scoring goals for the Netherlands, by the way. Like everyone is playing well.
But Husam, but
like, these are all obviously not shit players.
Who are they
exactly, Husam. But I spoke about this and I was speaking when we were talking about Diaz. I was telling everyone I want Diaz to stay. You guys on the panel didn't. I argued why. I argued the reason
I wanted him to stay. Don't lie.
No, pardon?
I wanted him to stay. Don't lie. I said sell Gakpo, keep Diaz. Wallahi, I said.
I don't recall. But I know a lot of the panel did. A lot of people did, right? But the reason why I was like, all right, well, like when we talk about Salah or talk about Gakpo, we need to just not play these guys, is because I'm looking at what I'm seeing, and it's like, okay, well, there's no real style of play. You just need personnel on the pitch. You just need you just need a personnel that inform. So if you're going to rely on individual brilliance like you did last season, right, where you just relied on it, and we have done so far this season with Gravenberch, with Szoboszlai, whether it's Ekitike, you play the players that are in form. Like when you talk about Ancelotti, that's what Ancelotti does. If that's the type of manager he is, then that's what he does. It's, this player's in form, Camavinga, and he's playing left back. Guess what? He's going to play left back until the wheels fall off, because that's where he's in form. And if we have to make a change, then we make a change. Sure. So guess what? If it means Szoboszlai's got to play right back, you run him right back for 5-6 games. You don't keep chopping and changing. If it means Ekitike's got to play and Isak has to be on the bench, well, guess what? Isak's going to have to be on the bench because Ekitike's in form. But right now, to Husam's point, it's like he's scared. It's like he's scared. It's like, oh no, I've just spent this amount of money on, I've got to play him and I've got to get him happy. Honestly, screw that. Screw that. And also, when we're talking about keeping players happy, he's got to make a decision. We either play through Wirtz or we play through Salah.
Exactly.
That's it. If you play through Wirtz, it means Salah, guess what? Whether you start, whether you come off the bench, whether you affect games like this, like that, it doesn't matter. You need to do what's benefiting the team. Because right now, what we're seeing, he's not affecting anything. And that is the main thing. And what's happening is when you look at Wirtz, for his last 2 seasons at Bayer Leverkusen, I remember this correctly, he averages about 85 to 89 touches per game. At Liverpool, he's averaging 50-something or like 60-something.
Different league, though.
50s, right? So his touches have dropped off. So now we've got Wirtz in the team, but he's getting less touches. But guess what? He's running a lot. He's having to run a lot, and he's running more than he ever has. And I think he's like top 3 for Liverpool in terms of distance covered this season.
Wow.
So what are you trying to do? If Wirtz is your guy, then you need to go and make Wirtz the center of everything. And guess what? You're going to live or die by that thing. But you decided to buy this player. You can't do this thing where he becomes a cog and he does this. If you want to go and play this, people want to talk about PSG style or whatever. Well, guess what? You're going to have to make it work with Gakpo and Salah, because I think it was Jamie's point
to replicate PSG.
But that's my point. But whether he wants to or not, I'm just putting it out there. Well, guess what? They are both wingers that do not keep possession. Salah gives the ball away more than any other player. Gakpo gives the ball away more than every other player. The whole point of possession football, people criticize Grealish for it, but why was he able to go and stay in the team or be part of that team? It's because he keeps, recycles the ball. Keeps, recycle the ball. So what happens as soon as you do that, your slow possession football can start to try to work. But if at every given opportunity, the ball goes out wide to your wingers, and then your midfielders are being asked with, and that's Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, and whoever else, to make forward runs into the box to go and support the play, but they give the ball away, well, what happens is you get caught on the counter. And because your fullbacks are high anyway, or fullbacks are a bit more advanced, they're leaving space all over the pitch. That's why we look like we haven't got players. Because we've got players in positions where they are not keeping the ball because their first thought is, I want to be direct. But guess what? That's the type of players they are. So it goes back to my point, which is why I said, I don't know why we haven't gone and addressed these players. I don't know why we kept Gakpo instead of Diaz. I don't know why we're not playing Rio more. I don't know. I don't understand these things.
It's because Diaz wanted to leave, didn't he?
Diaz wanted to leave.
Then you've got to replace him with if you want to play this style of football, you have to replace him with someone that's going to go and do that. Because what you've done, what you've banked on, is having a winger that's going to be direct. And what we're seeing from Gakpo, and it's to everyone's point, and I remember even Husam talking about this, you wanted your wingers to go and try and take the mantle off Salah. You wanted them to be direct. You wanted them to think that they're the guy. That's what Gakpo's trying to show you right now. At every opportunity, screw that. I'm going to be the guy. I'm the one to go and get the goal. And it's not working, but guess what? He's got the mentality right now of the same winger on the right-hand side that's got the same mentality. Well, guess what? I'm not going to go and pass the ball. I'm going to go and just try go for goal. I'm going to go, it's going to be me, because that's the ego he's got. And to be a quality player, you've got to have that ego. But now when you need someone else, that's more about, I've got to help the team a bit more. It's not about me. I'm going to go and do this. The things that people don't see, now we're seeing the results of it. Because guess what? If Gakpo and Salah were scoring, we would not be talking about this because they're scoring. But these things are still...
Can I ask you a question, mate? Like, how often do you think that, the manager, the head coach, when players are keep making the mistakes, the same mistakes in every game, they go watch the games back at in training or something like that. Because I don't
They
think
definitely do.
because
They
the
definitely
same
do.
mistakes keeps happening again and again in the
They
game.
definitely do. And I think
Slot
if you look
says
at
he does
Gakpo
all
in
the
the
time.
Chelsea game, I think if you look at Gakpo in the Chelsea game, it's the
Yeah.
first time I was like, let me see what you're going to do and do. And do you know what he did? He went on the outside. And I was like, finally, he went on the outside and he tried to put a ball in. And at least I was like, all right, cool, you can try to beat his man. So they definitely do it. But again, it's your ego, isn't it? In that split second, if you're getting the ball and you're like, oh, we want it to be about me, and in your mindset, I'm going to get a goal today, guess what? That's going to be your mindset. And if you're out of form, this is what you're going to see.
Yeah, and
That's
I
why
don't
even
think,
if
I don't
Salah
think
scored
Slots.
the goal from the Wirtz assist, I can't guarantee you we win that game.
I don't actually think Slot's scared to drop players because he's dropped Wirtz right in a couple of these games. I just think the biggest indictment against him is this whole Chiesa thing, in my opinion, because I just don't think it's a good look on him, and I don't think it sets a good example in terms of the players watching him making decisions. Even when you see him like post game, when reporters have started asking him now, like, why, Chiesa did XYZ, why are you not playing him? And it's like he refuses. I don't know if something happened between them behind the scenes or whatever, but it seems like he's intent on not giving him any sort of credit, not playing him in games. And to Chiesa's credit, I feel as though he's handled this situation the way you would want any player to handle it. He hasn't gone to the media and complained. He put his head down. When they interview him, he says, listen, I wasn't even in a good place last year. The coach was right not to play me. He's literally handled it perfectly. And Slot still, for some reason, doesn't want to give this guy a chance, even when Gakpo's not doing what he's supposed to do. So I feel like it's a lot of it is he has some sort of agenda with Chiesa is what my conclusion is, because it doesn't make sense anymore. But again, to Jerry's point, if you're going to make a decision and say, I'm relying on these guys, or these are going to be my guys to play my system, then you have to live with the results of it. And that's how managers get sacked. If the decisions you're making aren't making sense and the results continue not to be what they're supposed to be, this is where I disagree with the transition thing. Like we can't use that excuse, because no other team, none of our rivals, we give them that excuse when they spend money. Like we've spent the money, the quality's there. The manager's job now is to make
The solutions are there too, not just the quality.
They're all there.
It's not there just for 7 weeks, though, is it? It's there for 6 years. I think what you guys are saying is true. With Virtue, I don't do all this babyish 007 crap and all this nonsense, because apparently GA doesn't matter, but then when it's players, you've got an agenda against it, matters. Vert should be on 3 or 4 assists if you want to go down that route. Yeah, it's not his fault that Salah can't hit them. Yeah, exactly. Like Frimpong tripping over his own foot, Salah not even hitting the target. Verts has actually, if Slot sits there with the data and the coaching team and all that, he will look at Verts and go, yeah, he's not been great for 90 minutes in games, but my God, what he's actually done in patches in games so far this season, I didn't probably have from any other midfielder last year. He really should be on like 4 assists already as a number 10 for Liverpool. Yes. So Slot will look at that and go, yeah, he's not had a great 90 minutes yet. He's in and out of games, but he's had moments where, yeah, he is creating actually, but we're not putting that away, so it doesn't look like it. Against Galatasaray, the lovely bit of football that we played that got Ekitike through on goal, Ekitike should be scoring that, not try and take it around the keeper. He scores that.
He doesn't the ball round goalkeepers either.
Yeah, it was a weird one, wasn't it? He scores that. It's 1-0 Liverpool. Liverpool actually probably win that game because Galatasaray don't actually get the penalty, do they? Because Liverpool have scored there. That penalty probably don't happen, right? So Liverpool actually probably beat Galatasaray if Ekitike put the ball in the back of the net, because it was lovely build-up play, really good football through the middle, should have scored, didn't, right? 30 seconds, 50 seconds later, went up, got a penalty, which is what it is, yeah? Slot's tactics are wrong. I'm not going to dismiss that, yeah? He's got a lot of issues. He's got to get that correct, yeah? But he will look at it, in my opinion, and go to himself, that the things in games sometimes, we should be putting teams away a lot quicker than we do. because we do create a lot of chances. And then we bury us. Liverpool's worst enemy is themselves. It literally is. We collapse on ourselves. We control games and then decide to give away stupid passes, loose possession, and stuff like that. That's more down to players than tactics.
And I agree with you.
That I agree with. I actually told rival fans think I'm egotistical because I said this league title is Liverpool against Liverpool. People think I'm doing too much, but that's actually what I believe. Just quickly, Emeka, just before you go, let me just read this one super chat because it's been here for a while. Big up to my guy Gregory, who says, let the fullbacks overlap, drop McAllister, stop Gravenberg from roaming, treat Verts as a 10 and not a workhorse, and we'll be much better. You're basically saying run back the Atletico team, which is something that I've been saying literally for the last fucking 3 games at this point. I think some of Slot's, Slot is actually intelligent because he keeps fixing his mistakes. My problem is why do you make the mistake, mate? Just go the correct fucking thing from the beginning. Second half against Crystal Palace, we box them in, create so many chances. I think the one Chelsea, we never dominated them. That was my issue. Even when Jamie was speaking, my issue was they got Sanchez, Achimpong, Reece James, had a bunch of bums playing at the back.
That was shit.
And we did not even make Sanchez make 5, 6, 7, 8 saves in a row. We just didn't. That was my issue with it. So you're saying run back the Atletico team, and I completely agree with it. Just before Emeka goes, guys, we have over 750 people in here. We're not even at 200 likes yet. Have some shame. Close the live chat, hit the like button. We're entertaining you throughout the international break. So please like the video. Let's get to 300 likes at least. Subscribe to the channel. Go subscribe to all my brothers. All their links on the description. Go on, Emeka.
Yeah, just to Jamie's point, I agree with everything he's saying in terms of we are creating the chances, but where Slot gets the blame is because me and you, Husam, used to argue about this, that the year or Klopp's last year, you were big on Nunes and Diaz kept missing chances. And what I kept saying to you was, yes, they are missing chances, but when you have a defense that the players know is going to keep leaking or is too leaky, it puts way too much pressure on those attackers to have to score. Versus when Slot came in his first year, he made that.
Okay, just stop there before you carry on and build a point. Klopp's last year, the reason why I blamed the forwards is because we would pepper the opposition net and we would miss 4 clear-cut chances or something. That's why I blamed the forwards. But in a game, you say clear-cut chances. Name the clear-cut chances against Chelsea. The Verts creation.
Chelsea was shit. Chelsea was shit.
The Verts pass to Salah. What else? I'm saying clear-cut.
The Salah one. Salah had 2 opportunities where he cut in and bombed it over the bar.
That's not a clear-cut chance.
I think Salah's clear-cut ones when Vert set him up.
Yeah, 100% clear-cut chance.
And the Frimpong one when he tripped over his foot. That was it. Right?
So the Frimpong one, the Salah one, and then maybe you could say the Isak header. I would want Isak to score that header.
Oh, yeah, the Isak header was a chance.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Now, that's what you need to
Can I be objective? I think the game against Chelsea with that centre-back partnership and with Sanchez playing in net, we should be creating minimum 8-9 clear-cut chances.
I agree.
No bullshit. No bullshit. Genuinely right now. And then if we create 8-9 chances and Salah misses them, I'll come here and I'll say, fuck Salah, drop him.
Yeah. And actually, to Jamie's point of the players getting away with it, one that should have been a clear-cut chance is when Salah was through on the right, Isak was flying in. One of the shots that Salah put over the bar, because you see Isak, he's like, what the fuck? Salah just had to make
last season, there was a similar opportunity against Man City, and he passed to Gakpo, and Gakpo put it in, didn't he? Similar to that.
That's right. Yes,
that's what it was.
So that's decision making. The decision making is just not right now. But again, my main point was that I feel like Slot just needs to correct the defensive balance. And the easiest way is probably there's no reason for you to be telling Gravenberch to be bombing forward. We already don't have enough defensive players.
I agree.
Doesn't make any sense.
Even in front of the centre back. Thank you.
Yeah,
I certainly don't want Gravenberch telling everyone else that the Slot's told him he can do that either.
Gravenberch is pressing Enzo before we complete the first goal. Why the fuck is my DM pressing their attacking fucking midfielder in our own half that way high up the pitch? Why?
And I also feel like Slot's created this culture now where I feel like we speak a bit too openly now about
way too much.
tactics.
Yes, exactly, man.
Because friggin' was it Cucurella that came out and said, yeah, we know Salah's
right
going to do
the
X, Y,
right side,
Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's too obvious now what we're doing. We need to like relax on that, get back to basics. Gravenberch does not listen. Gravenberch, I understand you want to attack, but you need to learn how to attack the way Rodri does in moments. Rodri stays back, and in moments he's clinical. When the ball drops to him on the outside of the box, if he has a shot, he takes his shot and he normally scores. But he's not bombing forward. He's playing his position. So until we buy a 6 to be in that pivot next to you, Gravenberch, where you can play more of the 8 role and get forward, you have to stay back. It's really that simple. And that's why I feel like I'm still not concerned yet, because I think these are just teething problems. Because we have so many new players. I genuinely think the quality is too high in our team not to get it right. And that's why I am looking at Slot, because he has a job that probably 18 to 19 of the other managers in this league would want to have. All his problems are problems that every other manager would want to have. You have the quality there, put the players where they're supposed to be and make it work. This team should not be, even if we don't win, there shouldn't be some huge gap. Like, we should be right there at the end of the season. And if we're not, I'm going to be looking at Slot number 1. Of course, the players as well, but Slot number 1. And I genuinely,
and you know what's irritating me as well? When people I'm so glad we are in agreement on this. When people keep bringing up like the PSG stuff and the control stuff, so essentially our whole transfer window we had was fucking pointless. Is that what you're saying? Because if you want to do controlled possession, why the fuck are you signing Florian Wirtz?
Exactly.
Go sign Adam Morton.
I don't think
instead.
we want to control possession though.
I agree with you, Jamie, and I'm glad that that we agree. My issue is, let me just show you this. I don't know if you've been watching the shows or not, Jamie, but let me just, like, I feel like I've shown this still image about 1,000,000 times, but it's time to show it again. Let's make it 1,000,001, right? This is the first goal we conceded against Chelsea, okay? Yeah, Jamie, my brother.
Yeah.
McAllister is at fault. I agree with you, but what the fuck, bro? What the fuck?
I don't see much of an issue here.
Okay, I'll tell you what the issue is. Look
Doesn't
at the
matter.
space between Szoboszlai and Konate, how empty it is.
Where's Szoboszlai? I ain't got my glasses on again.
Okay, Szoboszlai is the one in front of
Further
Badiashile.
up.
Sorry, I can't see.
Further spread the play.
Yeah. Look, so you see the two Liverpool players in.
Can I just bring it forward just a little bit, Jamie, just before you?
Yeah.
I'll completely let you
My eyes
explain.
are shit. Yeah.
Watch this. Look at Gravenberch pressing Enzo needlessly.
Yeah,
here.
Gravenberch needs to drop back, but that's I don't know why he's doing that. Yeah, he needs to drop back.
Saying. You don't know why he's doing that? Slot telling him to press high up the pitch. Why the fuck?
He doesn't need the press there. Yeah, if Salah's actually in a good position. Do you know what it is? Do you know what Liverpool do? Yeah, Liverpool set up defensively to attack, right? Because if you look at where our players are, they're actually in attacking positions, ready to go if they win the ball quickly. But the problem is the two midfielders are too far apart. See where the referee is,
Fact, by the way.
You see where the referee is, right? That's where I want to see a line of McAllister and Gravenberch there instead of the referee, right? So you got a little wall.
That's what tactical Husam been saying all week.
That's where I want. That's where I want a little wall.
It's supposed to be.
But look at
the whole essence of two double pivots.
Look at Gravenberch and look at Salah, yeah? If you look at Grav and Salah, look at Szoboszlai and Isaac. They're ready to go if the ball gets turned over. So where Liverpool are trying to... So Slot wants... And this is what I keep saying, Slot's not a defensive-minded manager. He's an attack-minded manager. He's trying to set up his team. He will look at that and go, 70% of this is correct. 30% is wrong, and the 30% is where we conceded the goal. He's looking to win the ball back quickly and get into transition on the attack, because if you look at Chelsea, they've only got 3 back. If Liverpool win the ball back here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 against Chelsea's 3. So it's such slim margins, ain't it? It's such slim margins. Liverpool got to just defend this central area a little bit better. And last season,
But here's my thing, Jamie.
that's
Can
what
I
they
ask
did.
you?
That's what they did.
Look at the space between Soboslai and Konate. Look how much space there is. bro.
There's too much space. They need to drop back. Yeah, 5 yards. At least.
That's why even when, by the way, like the tactics board, I didn't even do anything now. This is already saved from last time.
Can I,
See? Look at
can I
this.
can I also mention
Look at this. This is what I made even last time when we were talking about it. You know, instead of Gravenberch pressing Enzo here for no reason, just like fucking be where. By the way, we can still launch an attack because guess what? Gravenberch intercepts Caicedo here. Boom, counter attack.
That's why I said it was 70%. It was 70% right and 30% wrong with that. Just that midfield.
I also
area.
mentioned something else. And this is something which I'm sure a lot of people will agree with.
Tactical Husam knows it.
Oh, Sam, check your WhatsApp. I showed you some pictures of the Chelsea game on attacking point.
If we are so hell bent on attacking like that and catching the opposition with 5-on-3, how many times have we actually fucking done anything good when we've had 5-on-3?
Exactly.
Like, we're not a team that carves teams open and has clean through goals. Like, so even if we did have 5-on-3, our fucking build-up play is dog shit anyway. So what was the point in doing it in the first place? You made
Jamie, I just saw my WhatsApp.
Going the other way than going forwards. What's your point?
I just saw my WhatsApp. Here's my thing. That's why I don't blame Slot 100% because I.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. Do you hear what I was trying to say?
I think this right here is the 20% on the players. Kerkas need to be playing that pass. McAllister need to be playing that pass. Salah need to be able to pass better. Like I'm in complete agreement.
Tactically, he got some bits right there. That's why I look at it. That's why people might not know because I sent pictures to Sam about that. But that's why I keep saying tactically, Slot will look at it. This is where managers are so stubborn, man, and we all pull our hair out. He will look at it in that point and go, "We got so much right there tactically because tactically I could be in these positions if the tactics weren't good enough, but the players are not using it correctly." So, yeah, it's.
Look, I reference.
I'm always 50-50.
Can I just show you an example from Atletico, which is why I keep referencing that game. I know I'm gonna do everyone's nothing, but there is a reason why I mentioned that game, guys. We had 7 big chances created, and Atletico had 1. Whether it's fucking defensively or offensively, Marcus Llorente is never gonna score a volley like that for the rest of his fucking life. Like, let's be objective about things, right? Let me just pull up this Atletico still image right here. I know I've shared it 100 times with you guys, but look. Just look over here with that team that I just wish we run back once. Look at the amount of options we have. Just look at the forward options that we have. We're doing everything that you're asking us to do, Jamie, but at the same time, it's like with intelligence. Watch this. Watch how many players are in the box at the same time when Gravenberch has the ball. Wirtz, Isak, even Gakpo, Salah making that run. Frimpong is an overlapping option. By the way, no one's pointing out.
Go back to it.
I will.
And go back to your first steal, the first steal you had of the Atletico game.
Yes. This is where Salah first got the ball.
Do you know what I like about this here as well? Not only are we in good attacking positions, look how good we are defensively here. In case there's transition. Gravenberch is in the correct position. Look at where Robbo is. Look where
Soboslai is covering for Gravenberch.
Yeah.
See?
And when you move it on again, where you had it on the second one, Sam.
Oh, here you go. Here.
When they were in the box.
Yep. Here we go.
Still, Robbo's holding position. Soboslai's holding position. They don't need to go.
Counter-attack. Sobo's there. No problem.
So that's where this is what I keep saying, and people in the chat, getting on at me earlier. This is what I keep saying about tactics and players and stuff like that. We're not far away. There's tactics there. There's a system there. You can see it. We're not far away. It will work. It will click eventually. We're going through that's why I keep saying a transitional period, That's what I meant by being in a transitional season, because you can see parts of the game is working, parts of the game is there, and then it's not. So they just got to get it all together and let it click. And that Atletico game, look, we played really well against Atletico, yeah. And then they go and smash Real Madrid 5-2 a few days later. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
No, but that's my thing. Here's my thing, right? That's why I'm saying I feel like we already have the solution. Just fucking apply them, bro. Like, just people keep saying Salah, blah blah blah. Guys, you want to drop him, no problem. But like, if you want to play him, give him the young overlapping fullback And I'm so glad Jamie pointed out something. Actually, Salah used Frimpong way more than Gakpo used Karkas, by the way.
Yeah, all time.
Way more. Like, no one can even label Salah with the fact that he doesn't find Frimpong on the overlap. Total bullshit. Even the goal that we scored at Wembley, he found him. I'm just at a stage now where I'm like, look, everyone points out the individual that they want to point out in the team. Right? Everyone has this one player, maybe that they dislike, maybe that they think is overrated, maybe that they, whatever it is. Let's not look at semantics here. But when every single fucking outfield player looks like shit, I'm sorry, I've got to address the elephant in the room. Big up, Kema. I'm sorry, I've got to address the elephant in the room. That's the man. That's the stuff that I've just pointed out to you guys. So, yeah. Anyway, let me just grab the super chat before we get out of here. Big up to Muhammad Ali, says, our form is so depressing that I am watching Liverpool. Hopefully another 7-0 on the horizon. Jamie, you're saying you're losing your shit. I promise you, brother. You see that Man United game?
Oh, if we lose United, I will personally go mental. Don't worry about that.
Just saying.
Look,
just saying.
You know when we beat United 7-0, weren't we in poor form before that game as well?
Yeah, we was. We was crap.
It was really poor, weren't we?
We lost the game right after, I think, at Bournemouth.
Do you know what? Do you know what it is with me, yeah? And the Sam's known me for a long time. Fozzie's known me for a long time. That's why Sam calls me emotional, yeah, because I am, right?
Yeah.
But I try and keep things as quite real. I was one of the only Liverpool content creators really calling Jurgen Klopp out when he was in charge at Liverpool, yeah. Right, I got clipped up for it. People, I was on Redmen TV as Idiot of the Week, apparently, right? And stuff like that for it, right? And I just try and keep things real as I possibly can, and try and not hide my emotions about football. Jurgen Klopp's a great. He did lose 6 home games in a row. That happened.
Yeah,
right, at Liverpool, he lost 6. Yeah, it still happened though. COVID happened because we won the league, so I'm not going to pretend it didn't happen. But we lost 6 home games in a row. We lost finals under Jurgen, yeah. And stuff like that, but that doesn't mean he's not a world-class manager. That's why I try and keep my cool about things sometimes, and and try and look at maybe.
Yeah, but we're criticizing Slot without saying anything wild.
No, I'm not talking about you three.
Nobody said.
No one here is saying Slot out or anything. I'm just.
Oh, not you three. I'm talking about the general.
No, I hear your point, 100%. I think people are doing too much. Obviously, if Slot extends his contract, I'm very happy. I want him to stay. I want him to fix it. But you see, I'm just saying, you guys, you see that fucking United game?
Frustrations, yeah.
See that United game? We don't beat United at Anfield, Jamie. You see this negativity.
I will throw my computer out the window if we don't beat United. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, man.
Don't worry about that.
You wanna know what's like the saddest part of this whole conversation? I can't guarantee we beat United at home the way that we're playing. And I just know them losers are gonna turn up against us as well, bro. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
Do you know what we struggle though with? Do you know Liverpool's weakness is playing teams against play 3 at the back?
Yep.
Yeah.
Even under Jurgen, that was our kryptonite as well. Yeah. Liverpool have always had an issue, no matter who's the coach, playing against teams that play 3 at the back.
Jamie, we struggled against them last year. That was like one of Amarim's first few games. We
drew 2-2 at Anfield.
It might actually be a tough game.
and remember, Maguire actually missed the sitter at the end. Remember?
Yeah, he missed the sitter right at the end, didn't he?
Remember that? See, people don't remember. I remember.
Konate missed one too, though. People don't talk enough. Konate missed one right before Maguire. So we could have won that game too.
Yeah, Konate can't do up his own laces at the moment. So
Anyway, guys, listen, I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. Big up to Muhammad Ali. Big up to my guy Gregory. Listen, Fozzie's channel is in the description. Every single channel is in the description because someone you see, Jamie probably has heard me say this the most, guys. After every fucking stream, someone will go like, "Where can I find Jamie?" It's in the fucking description. Every channel, everyone I work with.
Find me, don't worry about it.
It's in the they want to. It's in the description. Go subscribe to Jamie Phillips Football Chats. Go subscribe to Fonzie's channel. It's in the description. Every single link is in the description. LFC Red Forever channel. It's in the description. You can also check out Kwasi Ball TV, check out Lex's channel, check out Mike's channel, Rak's Twitter, and K-Mac's channel. They're all in the description. Go over and subscribe. I didn't even put timestamps because I would just feel like we argued basically about the same topic for the hour and a half. So
good show, man. The thing is, though, it was an opportunity for everyone to vent, get their frustrations out, and it's done now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
By
it's
next
like
Friday.
It's like going cancelling without having to pay any money. Do you know what I mean?
Listen, by next Friday, we need to be all singing Kumbaya and get behind the team because it's fucking Man United and that's war right there.
Next
Like, I'm
Friday's
not-
going to be interesting because we're going to have to talk
Oh.
about who should play and who shouldn't play and systems.
I can tell you my team right now, and I can tell you exactly the team Slot will play. How about that? I'll guess
Oh.
exactly
I-
Slot's team.
I don't think much will change. I don't-
I think Slot will go right back Soboslai.
I think
100%.
Robbo plays. I actually
Right.
think Robbo plays
Yeah.
against.
I think he'll go Soboslai right back. I think he'll go McAllister Gravenberg again. I think he'll go Verts.
Game.
He'll go Isak Salah Gakpo. That's the team right there. 100%.
Do you think before we go with Szoboszlai, yeah?
Go on.
You know, I've always been like everyone says I glaze Szoboszlai, but what I've always said with Szoboszlai, it's very obvious to me that, and I think everyone there, that he's Slot's guy. It's
Oh,
like
he
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he has to play. He
Yeah,
has
yeah.
to play. But Slot also loves McAllister. You know,
Yeah.
Slot basically says McAllister's the brains of his midfield, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And his fitness at the moment is the main issue why his form's crap, yeah.
I
But
think we're giving him an out. I don't know how much.
yeah, I mean his form. Like, I like McAllister.
Drop McAllister. That's the solution. Just play Soboslai Gravenberg.
But I think
What I-
with
I
everyone's
wanna
fit,
ask a
Szoboszlai's
question to
going
all
to
of
be
you.
right back for Liverpool.
What
I
has
honestly do.
Frimpong and Chiesa done to Slot in training? Did they call him a bald bastard or something? Like what exactly? I want to understand. I just want one person to explain to me what has Frimpong done wrong to be dropped. I just
I
need
don't.
an explanation.
I have no idea.
Well, he
At
was-
right back,
Yeah,
just
started him in the
name
beginning.
me one bad game he played at right
What's Joe
back. He
Gomez
can.
done wrong? You know, it's just-
Yeah,
I
he
just.
can.
I
Frimpong
don't know.
was playing, but he got hurt. Remember, it's only after he got hurt.
And
that
then he's fit and doesn't even fucking come on. He made 3 substitutes at right back and didn't bring Frimpong on, bro. What are we doing? What are we doing?
I just don't want us to play free at the back like some people. You know.
Yeah. I
No,
can't
no,
stand
that's
that.
Callum.
I don't want to go through that again, man. Come
he
on,
had the
man.
back at Anfield. Never.
No.
I think one thing we can all agree on before we leave, I think we need to cancel Callum Sanderson. Anyway, guys, on that note, hit the like button, subscribe. I don't know if I'm doing any content tomorrow, so khalas, if you just subscribe, notification bell, maybe I'll do a Q&A just to switch it up a little bit. Colin, I've got no idea. You get me? So I'm just going to let it be till tomorrow. And yeah, love you all, man. Peace out.
Cheers.